We wanted to know who the guest is, huh? Well, after this break, you'll find out. Taking the pause for the chords.
This is our 15th Global View on Q show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica. I'm Sheridan Gregoire, Mr. G. With me is my co-host, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill. This is part 2 in the series on how have the Kalinago people of Dominica fared since the event of the last Carib War in 1930 to date. Here are some talking points or questions, if you like. As the Carib Act of 1978 helped to institutionalize the Kalinago Chief and Kalinago Council since Dominica attained political independence in 1978, is it still relevant after 48 years? What provisions of this Carib Act of 1978 need to be revised now in order to align with the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples 20 years after this declaration, particularly in view of the alleged mining and environmental degradation now affecting their communities? Kalinago people of Dominica were not included in the negotiations for political independence. Was that an unforced error? Is there now a greater embrace of the Kalinago people and their cultural attributes by the wider Dominica population? Should the 2007 UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples have been more fully implemented by Dominica's government so as to deliver greater positive impacts on the lives of the Kalinago people of Dominica? The Kalinago Council is a tribal government. What should be the central government's approach to working with this local government authority that is different from a village council? What is the core legal principle that comes from the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples? And what does that core principle of free, high, and informed consent mean for the Kalinago people post-2007 when the declaration was passed? So going forward, what should the Kalinago people do to advance their development aspirations after 48 years of the Kalinago Act of 1978? What has been the impact, outcomes, and deliverables of the first female Kalinago chief and her new dynamic council for the Kalinago community since taking office? I will ask the panelists to suggest what they envisage as important development aspirations for the Kalinago people from now through to 2030, when I imagine the Kalinago people will be commemorating 100 years since the presence of a British warship in the Salibay in 1930, an event I believe to be known by the Kalinago people as the last Carib War. Here's a thought. What about expanding the Kalinago territory by about 3,000 acres and creating a modern traditional architectural design and build community of integrated residences, say 5 to 10,000 residents, with agriculture, manufacturing, agribusiness, tech, knowledge industries, and tourism, etc., all get to generate foreign earnings. Visitors could conceivably pay a small fee to tour this traditional old charm community, which would be under the ownership, direction, control, and management of the Kalinago Council and the Kalinago Chief. Just a thought. We look forward to the contributions of Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill on how the Kalinago people of Dominica have fared since the last Carib War in 1930 to date. So tune in Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for more on the Global View on Q, only on Q95, the big station.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. Uncap a 591 ml Coke original taste or Coke Zero Sugar with the football label. Find the unique code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup games or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win.
We are in the hurricane season. Stay informed by tuning in to Q95 FM radio for updates on the storm's path and any evacuation orders. Knowledge is power during a hurricane.
Things happen when we crunch together. So crunch and share the love of KFC's bucket together. $45 gets you 6 pieces of chicken, 2 fries, 1 corn, 1 biscuit. With KFC, there's always chances to win big. 3 winners, 3 destinations for an all-expense-paid trip with Sunrise Airways, St. Martin Carnival, St. Kitts Music Festival, and Lucian Carnival. $1,500 spent in cash, hotel accommodation, event tickets, and ground transportation. All you have to do is purchase a bucket together. Write your name and phone number at the back of your receipt and drop it in the drop box. KFC's finger licking good. What? Happy anniversary to Digital. 20 years with Digital. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. If you with Digital, then you are plenty. 20 years with Digital. If you're not too fast, then hear me well. I have my TV and still have my cell. I have my internet on from Digital. 20 years of real connection. Just to pay attention. You might benefit from all what I'm about to mention. You can be a VIP or get 6 months on your bill free. Because 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. If you with Digital, then you are plenty. I say with Digi, you can win. Celebrate, connect and win. Prices weekly, you can win. When you with Digi, that's a win. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. If you with Digital, then you are plenty. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. 2020, Digital in 20. If you with Digital, then you are plenty. Yeah. Activate a 7-day plan or higher. Sign up for postpaid or sign up for home internet for your chance to win. And here's all what you can win. Hear me now. Magnetic Amazon voucher, brunch voucher, dinner voucher, grocery voucher, even gas voucher. And then, hey, you know why?
Dio Kubule, Teta Nukabwe, Dio Kubule, Teta Munegwe, Hele Kubule, Nukache de Fo, Selma Kubule, Pake Andy Encore, Bakalache, 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 Dio Noebe Kubule, Bakalache, 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 Dio Noebe Kubule, Bakalache, 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 no me cubule, Bakalache, 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 no capue cubule.
Drink responsibly.
All right, Dominica, we are here finally. Stop thinking and guessing at this time, huh? Some said it was the Prime Minister. Some said it was Mr. Gregor Nassif. Some of you, just text and send voice note predicting. I think all the text messages I got, one person got it right. Yes, Dominica, our next guest. We have heard her name in the news on social media. and she's no stranger to the talk on the block. She's Miss Annie Edwards. I've heard the name in the news for many reasons. And I'm sure we'll explore some of these reasons as we move along. So let me say good afternoon to Miss Annie Edwards. How are you? How are you, Annie?
Yes, good afternoon, Matt, and
Good afternoon.
to your listeners.
You seem so composed.
Oh, I'm doing quite good, you know.
In all your life, you've heard your name mentioned so many times.
For so many different reasons. So it's nothing new, right?
Nothing new. Before we get to the crux and the matter, help us understand who is Annie Edwards. Who's Annie Edwards?
Okay. Annie Edwards is a very simple person, humble person from Marigot.
Right.
I was born in Marigot, raised there, stayed there up to primary school.
Mhm.
At that time, we all had to come to Roseau to go to attend secondary school.
Okay.
So I left and came down to secondary school in Roseau. I attended the convent high school.
Mhm.
And after that, after convent, I went on to sixth form college. And then I went back to Marigot for about 3 years to teach at St. Andrew's High School.
What did you teach?
English, geography, which has always been my favorite subject.
Why?
And,
Why?
yeah, I just like the landscape and, you know, rivers and everything, mountains, everything about geography. So that has always been my favorite subject. And English, literature.
All right.
Then from there, there was a request for
An opening?
an ad
Okay.
for somebody to work at the planning department as a planning assistant, and I applied and got in there.
Okay.
So
That's how many years-
basically, my life has been at the plan. Well, when I went there, right away they sent me to study in Jamaica for 3 years. So
Okay.
I didn't really stay there long, and then immediately I came back. I was appointed as a planning assistant,
Mhm.
and for the next 30 or 31 years, I was at the planning department. I moved up from planning assistant to physical planner and to senior physical planner at the planning department. So, but one thing I have to say is that I never left my village, Marigot.
You never left it.
Never. And as I explain to you, you'll understand why I've never left it.
Yeah.
Why I say that I've never left it.
Somebody's, some people may be asking, where she come out?
Oh yes, you say that.
People saying that as well?
Yeah, she come over from. Because I go to Marigot all the time, but I don't know if you know the Bay in Marigot, close to the fisheries complex.
Yes, okay.
My mother's home, my family home is right there. So most times I come, I'd stay in that area. But the wider community of Marigot is in, whereas Sam's got Monkey, all these areas.
Mhm.
So I'm right at the edge of Marigot at the Bay. So a lot of people might know I'm in Marigot, but I'm in Marigot.
You're always in Marigot.
Yeah.
You try as much as possible.
Oh
to
yes,
do that.
and right now I'm even doing some renovations to my mom's home to create some Airbnb. So I'm starting business in Marigot right now.
Okay.
That just shows I've never left.
You never left Marigot. All right, Dominica, we're here, and of course, we're speaking to Miss Annie Edwards. And as we go along, you'll find out more, and I'm sure you'll have a few questions yourself. All right, so it's 1:26, 1:22. I have two clocks in front of me, so I get a little confused sometimes. One is showing 1:22, the other is showing 1:26. But I'm gonna stick with 1:22. But the first thing I'm going to get into, because I saw a big flyer saying community meeting, our village, our voice, our future. Join us as we come together as one community to discuss the future of Marigot and create a stronger, brighter tomorrow for all. Annie, on that platform, I want to introduce our discussion this afternoon there. Join us as we come together as one community to discuss the future of Marigot and create a stronger, brighter tomorrow for all. And that meeting is taking place when?
On Saturday
Saturday.
from 5 to maybe around 7, 8, if depending on how it flows.
Okay.
About 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours. So why did you decide with your team, I suspect, to hold this meeting?
Well, as you are aware, or most Dominicans are aware,
Right.
I've put myself forward as a candidate for the upcoming election
Right.
in Marigot, in Dominica, but as a candidate in Marigot.
For electoral office.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I've been on the ground, going around Marigot, talking to people, getting the feedback from them. And it has been good. I cannot complain. A lot of people might say they don't know me, but they know my mother, Mrs. Mafia on the Bay, but they know my sister, who was teacher Agnes, who taught for over 40 years. So people are very familiar with me. They may say they don't know me personally, but they know of me or about my family.
Okay.
So, yes, so as I say, I've been on the ground talking to people and moving around and so forth. But I think I need at a very early point to bring the people together under one umbrella to start thinking of the future for Marigot. As I told you, I have always been in Marigot. I always returned there. My mom just died 3 years ago. So I was very present, especially towards the last time when she was a bit sick.
Okay.
And I've looked at Marigot and I've realized that it is just on a downward slide. You drive through the area and you see that a lot of buildings, even from Hurricane Maria, are still not rehabilitated. I spoke to somebody from the council and he told me up to 70% of the buildings that were destroyed in Hurricane Maria are still either in a dilapidated state or partially covered or something like that. So that's a main concern. Then there's also the question of the social aspect and opportunities for people, opportunities for young people. When I grew up, Marigot was very vibrant. Just in my little area on the Bay where I live, there were at least about 5 shops, business places that were vibrant, at least 5 in that little area. Right now, at least 3 of them have closed down. There's now 2 restaurants around. And but the shops that, indicate that life is in Marigot on the Bay have just closed down. There was Mr. James shop just across from us that would be open all up to the night. The men would be playing dominoes. There was Ellie's shop across there, Mrs. Winston shop. It's there, but not much of a shop. And, I just cannot understand what's going on. It's terrible. And then also I look at some of the young people around. Some of them are not so young anymore. Like young guys who maybe are in their 30s, 40s. And, you just see get that feeling that these people are just existing because there's just no opportunity for them. Back then, there was a lot of the agriculture. Agriculture was the mainstay of the economy, and especially the banana industry. So if you were not a banana farmer, you'd probably work at the boxing plants, or you would be having other agricultural crops available for shipment, because with the banana industry, you'd have a lot of fertilizer available at reasonable price. So that's one of the things I remember about the agricultural industry. It created an ecosystem where different opportunities just became possible. People would then go to the shop, they would spend, so the shop owners would be able to, to have constant activity. And that is just decreasing, just in my area in the Bay. Then you drive through Wes, which is the hub of Marigot, and one of these days I saw somebody post a video of Wes and said it's looking like a ghost town. So Marigot has really deteriorated. Since the banana industry was
collapse.
Basically collapsed. There's hardly anything much going on. The fisheries sector is there. There are farmers farming, but everybody's on their own. No coordinated kind of farming where their main crops that people produce and they can ship in bulk to other islands. The economic, so the social aspect is an issue. The economic aspect is also an issue, and this has just led to a downward slide of the community of Marigot. You go through it and it's almost empty.
No, some people might say, I'm just speaking off my head there, that Marigot has not been given the kind of support that it needs because it has always been in opposition. Would you agree?
That is it. And I'm coming back to my time.
Yes.
But I said earlier that I have never left Marigot.
Right.
In 2010. Okay, in 2008, I went to study natural resource and environmental management, and then I had the opportunity to do some studies in community tourism.
Okay.
And I also went to St. Lucia, Jamaica, and Mexico to look at some examples of community tourism. So when I returned in 2010, I decided, Marigot is that seat in the opposition, and it's not going to get anything. So I decided to form a community tourism group there.
Okay.
And that community tourism group, I'm proud to say, that was in 2011. It was formally established. And so it's Marigot. I'm the founder of Marigot Community Tourism and Committee. And I can tell you, I didn't have anything about politics, but I did it all because I realized Marigot needed something to keep it alive while it's there sitting in the opposition. And that is the reason I formed that committee. And I'm proud to say that that community is really like a driver for economic, social, one of the main drivers for economic, social, cultural, and other activities in the community right now.
But you admitted a minute ago that, of course, they've always been in the opposition. So, in other words, the government has neglected Marigot.
That is the word.
So, what do you think? What do you think that you, if put in that position there as the PAL rep or the representative, would you do differently?
Okay, so that is here. We come back to the reason why I have this meeting.
Okay,
and this meeting is really to start. We cannot achieve everything on the first day, but to start planning for the future of Marigot. And a lot of times people believe that the government is the driver of the economic activity. Not necessarily. The people within the community can come together and drive activity, and then present to the government their plans and so forth. And that is one of the great things about planning. A lot of people, so my flyer is saying is to discuss Marigot in the next 20 years. When you plan, you don't plan for 5 years. Politicians plan for 5 years. I'm not a politician yet, but you plan for 20, somebody for 15, 20, and I like to mention the Chinese plan for 100.
So you're futuristic, in other words.
Yeah, that's what I've done all my life, planning.
Okay.
So I want, my intent is to keep that meeting where we will start to think of Marigot. What would we like Marigot to be in the next 20 years? Because we have gone for 26 years and it has just regressed. So we now need to start thinking about ourselves. And there's a lot of that can be done if this is done properly. So really, what does planning mean? It's really in simple terms, it means planning today for tomorrow. That's what is deciding what you want today for tomorrow. So what you're doing you might not live to see it, but your children and future generations will be able to do it. It really causes you, it's like a bringing together of the minds in the community. Everybody come together in one space and they brainstorm on where they want. And you'd be surprised what good ideas can come out. You brainstorm. And we are going to break it down. I'm going to break it down into different sectors. So we'll have a sector, one of the sectors is tourism and culture.
If selected in a position, you want to be a community representative. You want to work with the people of
Yes,
America on the ground.
definitely. But I'm starting now.
You're starting
You
now.
know, I don't want to wait until that day when, you know, I want, if I'm selected to be the representative, to move in with my manifesto for the community,
Okay.
you know, so you know beforehand
So
what
you
the
st- you-
people want.
So you're starting early.
And that's it. Start early.
All right, but you have what seemed to be a division on the ground, and it's obvious that one group is supporting Annie, the other group is supporting the other nominee, which is Delbert. What is your relationship with Delbert? Do you have any personal issues with him? No.
No. I didn't know Delwood before he joined. I'm in the Rotary Club, and he joined the Rotary Club. I can't remember how many years ago, and
Right.
that's where I really got to know him. And you know, we worked well. And you know, when he said he was getting into politics, I was happy, and I
Okay.
told him, you know, I'd like to work with
Congratulations.
him. I have a group up there, and I'll work with you. But I don't know what happened, and that never came through. So
But he has never been the representative of America.
no. It's a yeah. We know the arrangement. Yeah.
Okay, but tell me, you know, as I said, there's one group representing Delbert or supporting Delbert, one group supporting you. What has been the reaction on the ground there?
Well, I wouldn't say one group. The constituency
Branch,
association,
right.
the members who are there,
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to
Mm-hmm.
the chairman of the constituency association, also to Honorable Lennox Linton and to Mr. James, and told them that I'm interested in being a candidate for the election. And all three of them told me that they had already selected Delbert.
Okay.
But I told them, I've spoken to people on the ground, and the people are saying, you know, it's a democratic process. So if I'm interested, well, let me go forward, and then a decision will be made.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've not given up. I've forged forward.
Okay.
And also, when I read through the constitution of the United Workers' Party, it says that the constituency association is responsible for
Nominating
for recommending is the word that's used.
or recommending.
Recommending
Okay. That's a better
possible
word.
candidates.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the word that's used. And the National Association is responsible for making the final decision. So that's why I'm
But that did not prevent you from putting your name forward.
no, but so I told them that I'm interested. So they were
Okay.
supposed to send my name forward, but it wasn't done. But
Mm.
I've informed the national executive that,
You-
or I've informed members of the party, not the executive, members of the party, that I'm interested.
Interested.
So they're aware that I'm on the ground.
So
doing my work.
why did you decide to go and get into politics?
You know, that's an interesting thing. I would never, a couple months ago, I would never even think of politics, you know,
Right.
because it's just not my personality.
Uh-huh.
But then I've been really watching Margaret and seeing things are just not, as I said, that
Right.
things are not progressing. And then, you know, I've also been hearing things on the ground. People seem dissatisfied with certain things on the ground. So, and also I must say that because I've been so vocal on, you know, national issues in particular,
Yes. And the
I
environment.
mean, it has been overwhelming. I walk through Rosa and people tell me that, you speak so much about national issues, you should try to get into politics. And I always told them no. But I mean, these are the encouragement has been overwhelming. So maybe I guess it started festering in my mind. But it's only like about 2-3 months, maybe not even full 3. At least 2 months ago, I made up my mind.
You made up your mind?
Yes.
Were you co-host into getting into that position?
No, I was a co-host. No, I mean, people, as I told you, people have been telling me to get into there, and I must admit, I've been also getting people from the party spoke to me and all that, So eventually I just decided, why not? Because I'm at the stage where I'm not retired, but
Okay.
I'm not full time at work. I'm still working, and I consider myself to have a lot of experience.
You have a lot to offer.
I have a lot to offer still. And I see, not only Margaret, but I see the country really going down in a way that's not. They talk about sustainable development, but it's not sustainable. and I've spoken a lot about, what's going on Debwash. I've spoken a lot of what's the airport project and the fact that EIA in-depth studies were not done. The same thing for Debwash. We saw the documents, ESIA, and for both of them, and they are just not up to the level that they are supposed to be. They are not robust enough. The robust tests that had to be done were not done. So I have a lot to offer still, and why not? And I don't know. I feel very close to Marigot because that's where I was born and that's where I grew up. And when I walk through Marigot, I feel quite at ease because I know people and people know me. I see relatives, I meet relatives, and friends from long ago or more recent. Yeah, so I feel very comfortable in Marigot.
Even given the fact that the Association on the Ground selected nominated Delbert for that position of the possible candidate, as you said, the national executive will make that final decision. You didn't feel one way or the other, even if they selected him over you?
What is the Constitution says the process, And when I went in there,
okay,
I was told that the executive was saying that they had selected somebody, but the people on the ground were saying they don't know who's the person because he was never brought forward to them.
So before you entered the race, you were not aware that Mr. Delbert.
Well, I know his name was being called, but I also saw things happening. I knew that at some point he had said he resigned as the deputy and from what I understood, he said he couldn't work with the leader. So, so we were not too sure what was going on. And the people in the community, actually, people were saying they're not too sure what's going on.
Okay.
I remember traveling up on a bus one day, and that was the discussion that people were saying, boy, they don't even know who's going up for Marigot because no name was coming forward at the time.
So there's a little confusion.
Yeah, there was confusion. There's a lot of uncertainty.
That's when you made up your mind that you're going to put your name forward.
Yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty. I can tell you that. Yeah.
All right.
And there is, and
there still is uncertainty even after the name.
Well, now that I'm here, the people maybe are a little bit, are still, well, they are waiting to see. I would say they are waiting to see what will happen.
When will that announcement be made?
I don't know. The national executive is to meet and decide on it.
But you're going forward with that meeting on
Saturday? Oh yes, I'm going forward. And I just feel that I can do so much for Marigot, so much for Marigot. So why not? I mean, if I'm not selected, okay, but I have. And I would tell you that.
And that there will be no animosity, no anger.
There should never be any. In me?
In me. If you're not selected as that.
Oh, no. I'll go back to where.
You still work for Marigot.
Yeah. Because as I told you, I started that community tourism group in 2011. And I could list a number of things that I have done. And I think that's a good thing.
Yes.
The first project that we did was there's a beach called Sandbean Marigot, and I was able to develop a project and get funding under the UNDP small grants project to develop the trail, to put a washroom facility, and then another small building there for we really did that trail. We did it because people didn't have any washroom there. And, that just made the beach so much more popular. A lot of tourists would started knowing it because there is no vehicular access. Well, there is something now, but people had to climb down some steep rocks and so on to get to there. So that created access to the beach. After that, I also wrote a project which was funded by the European Union funds. The government had some fund from the European Union, and from that project, I was able to assist in the construction of facility which is there right now, the Marigot Community Tourism Facility and Melvin Hall. I wrote up that project, and it's there right now. They use it; it's partially being rented, and the other section they use it for meetings and so on. Then that is the same area. They have a lot of activities during Mayfair. Or there's also there are a lot of other activities that actually take place there. Like there's a Mayfair Fun Day activities where they do a lot of sporting activities on the beach and in the area. There's also they're an aquatic club. They train young people to swim.
Mm-hmm.
And that group also collaborates with the village council and other groups in the community. So, for instance, the project was written up in collaboration with the Sunrise Sports Club to upgrade the sports facility at the primary school. So lighting and stands and everything have been built there from the same Marigot Community Tourism. And then there's what we call the Independence Day lunch, where they recognize elders in the community. And that alone shows you there's also a CMUS project where funding was received to develop the CMUS industry in Marigot. So the planting of the CMUS and the processing of CMUS into different drinks and so on, that's a big thing in Marigot also.
Okay.
So that I started off the project, the committee in 2011, and then I kind of took a back seat after a while, maybe about 5 years, and they just ran with it. So I'm back on the committee. I joined again maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm on the executive, and it's just amazing how that group has just mushroomed into so many different areas. And it's really that is the heartbeat of Marigot. They organize all kind of activities. There's also a bonfire that's done it's not as common as it used to be, but it used to be done every month. So my interest, that all this just shows interest in Marigot.
You've been involved.
Yeah, I've been involved. I've never left my community. So I feel that
nobody can say right now, where did you come from? Because you've been there.
Maybe they didn't know who was behind that.
Okay.
For instance, the area where the land is, I negotiated the lease with the government. It was an area with some derelict vehicles. I negotiated the lease, so they have a nice big property, partially fenced. And
so you're working silently.
Yeah, that's me. That's it. You said it right. I'm a behind the scenes person. I'm not normally the upfront person. Like, I'm in a number of organizations. I do a lot of work, and you wouldn't know I'm the one doing it because I'm normally a behind the scenes person.
But this time you decided to come forward.
Because right now I think there's so much. I have the ability to do a lot.
All right.
And I see Dominica needs people like me and more people. And also, Juliet has.
Yes, Juliet, so you're your colleague.
They maybe rub off on each other. I suspect that's what happened.
So you guys rubbed up. Yeah, she's a former planner herself.
Yes. And there's a reason. I was thinking about it, Matt, and I said there's a reason why we planners have come forth. Because we see that Dominica is just, it's just like a child that just helter skelter, vai. Planning does something to people's psyche. A lot of people, they travel to America and they see beautiful developments and they think it's just it happened. I mean, we have a few development here, but people sometimes break it. But it's planning and sticking to the plans that has caused these developments to be, to look the way they look. And in America, when you live in this development, you cannot even change the color of the paint, you know that?
Yeah.
If you live in a house, you have to use that same color of the house.
So it looks unique.
Every time you repaint. Yeah. And that's how it is this, consciousness of planning and sticking to plans that is the difference between a developed country and a developing country where they have, the category they call us developed, lesser developed countries and more developed, whatever you want to say. It is proper planning that divides countries in that way. You have the plan and you stick to your plan. And whatever the circumstances, whether governments change, the plan continues. And that is something that's really missing. And it's no doubt that Juliet herself decides she's going to step in. Look at the state of Roseau. And I would tell you that there are a lot of plans at the planning department for Roseau. When I was chief fiscal planner, I spearheaded the development of the national land use policy and plan. There's a national land use policy and plan in Dominica, sitting at the planning department. These are supposed to guide development in Dominica, and they are just ignored. But it's time for us to start putting planning at the forefront and think. Put everybody, it's a mindset kind of thing. Everybody knows that this is where the country has to go, and we follow it as much as possible. I mean, there might be variations. You can change. Maybe every 10 years you can review your plans, but you have a plan in your mind.
Why the UWP? There are many, of course, political parties in Dominica. Why did you choose to sit with the
Let
UWP
me
or
tell
to have
you.
discussion at UWP?
No,
Have you
no,
always
no, no,
been?
no. I've supported UWP from, well, I would say from 1990.
Okay.
It came in 1988, and by that time, the whole of Margaret was freedom.
Right.
Yeah. But then when, Mr. James came and people understood, do
His
not,
vision.
yeah, his vision, do not give a man a fish, teach him to fish. That just resonated with people. And, a lot of people just got onto UWP. My entire family changed and we have never turned back. And yeah, that I have always. And then also, personally, my husband was, he actually was working with UWP at a very early age. All the secondary schools that were built.
What kind of work your husband
He
did?
was the project manager on a number of secondary schools. Grand Bay. He actually was the project manager who ensured the construction of Grand Bay, Cassie Bruce. They renovated the one at Portsmouth, and he also was responsible for St. Andrews High School. No, Northeast Secondary.
They say
So-
every successful man is a
Some-
there's a positive woman behind
Yeah,
it.
and I was the one behind encouraging him, because I had so loved UWP. Yeah, I supported him. He actually left his job and went across to work with government. But unfortunately, he was the first person to get fired when
Axed.
I would say, when the government changed. So that's how far back I go with UWP, and I've never changed. I was in the system, and I know I was victimized because everybody knew me, knew David Edwards was my husband, and but I survived.
Is he giving you full support? That's important.
Yes,
Since you made up your mind, he says, I will be with you.
Yes, I'm not sure if he agreed for me to go, but once I made up my mind, he has been on board. So
He's been on board,
because every successful woman needs to be a strong person.
Right. So, but that's important. You need partnership.
Yes, definitely.
So you have his support.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, Dominica, 449-3095-9697. A lot of WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages. So yes, I am blowing for my mom.
That's Tony.
I don't know who it is. Yes, I'm blowing for my home girl, my home woman, to put themselves forward for public office. I look forward to the day when Dominica will be governed by a solid team of women. Well, two have already presented themselves. Two planners are making
We need to put some direction.
And I actually met one of the ladies there in Roseau, Miss Schillenfeld. She said, "Matt boy, they're afraid." So
imagine she just started and
she just started.
Yes.
But they're afraid.
Yeah,
I met
women are serious. With a joke.
I met her a couple of days ago. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, we're taking some phone calls at this time. Yes, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Good afternoon, Pastor. Solid.
Your phone.
100% with Annie Edwards. Salisbury with her. And Salisbury supporting Annie Edwards. And we are totally with her 100% in the movement for change. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Again, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449. All I just wanted you to do is you can make your comments, but please be respectful of my guest this afternoon. Hello, talk to me, yes?
And good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Good afternoon, Annie. I don't know Annie Edwards, but I want to ask a question. What is Mr. David Edwards to you?
A husband.
Oh, I didn't want to make sure. It was, Well, that's Mr. Edwards. I work with him. Very brilliant, very efficient. I love him, right? But what I want to ask Annie, Mrs. Edwards, she said something about when she told the constituency association that she was interested. They said they have sent her name. That's what you said?
Yes.
Yes, I'm just trying for my own knowledge and information. But if you have two candidates, you all are both from Marigot. I'm just asking. You all are both from Marigot. You all are born in your family there, and you have two candidates. Nothing wrong with that. Would it be in order Because I heard some over the radio, they recommended one and so what he had and so on. But wouldn't it be in order if they had sent both names? You and Delbo say both names, knowing that they're not the ones that make the final decision. Submit both names and let the exec or whoever have to make the final decision, instead of saying they submit a name already. I'm just asking.
But I'll be honest with you, maybe it came before, but I heard, and that name was announced. I've been hearing in the news for a little while that, he's a possible candidate, but in terms of officially from the constituents on the ground there, I heard it on I want to be May 26th. I still think I have it in my file here, that it was official that the Association on the Ground nominated Delbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that time.
That time.
But
you're
you're on the ground as well.
Yeah.
You're on the ground. Hello, 449-3095-9697. And she has basically said if the national executive chooses Delbert, she has no problems. Hello, talk to me. Or it's a democratic process. Let the people decide. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Cousin Annie. And me, I'm one that can attest you always in Margaret. You never give up Margaret. And your husband, Mr. David Edwards, this strict man, he maybe know who talking about. I will call my name. He's my partner. He was a very strict teacher, but I had love him for that. And your song Positive. I have no doubt about it. Your mother is my big cousin. It was a very good lady. Yeah, I remember all good she do for me too. And for the village. So I'm so excited. I maybe had to mark down what I had to say. But I wish you all the best, and I'll come and give you my support.
All right, thank you very much. On the telephone, are you there? Yes, yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
I'm calling from Marriott. My name is Jennifer.
Your name is what?
Jennifer.
All right, Jennifer, good afternoon to you.
I'm all the way with Annie, 100%. I am very excited, and I cannot wait for that meeting, because Marriott really need a shaking up. Trust me. The only way with her.
All right, so let's take my phone call. Thank you very much. Yes, it's 1:55. Are you there? Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon, Annie.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Yes, while Annie was talking about Marigot in its heyday, she mentioned bananas, but it went a little further than that. She has to remember the coconut and the copra.
Mm-hmm.
And where she lived there, she mentioned a Mr. James. The Mr. James is was Marilyn's father, Marilyn James.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So you remember the back of them had a copper house?
Oh yes, that's true.
Absolutely. No, I want to remind you, because in the heyday of Marigot, I used to be in that area.
That's true.
I used to be in Maishal also. As a matter of fact, I learned to drive in Marigot. Morrison taught me to drive because Mr. Stafford had many vehicles. You remember that? Right. So imagine now how Vauxhall and all those places used to be back in the day. I mean, we used to actually race Land Rover Jeeps in that area going for bananas. And then all the different areas where you had the boxing plants and stuff, and women working every day of the week. And when bananas move into Portsmouth, people just had steady work going on there. But I want you to remember the heyday, there was also copra. Copra was a big thing in Marigot. Have a good day, and congratulations to you also.
All right, thank you very much.
Good.
That's what democracy stands for. Looks like, eh? Well, hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, let the people decide. Are you there, caller?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Mark, thanks for doing this interview this afternoon. Mark, I wanted to touch two things. At the beginning, you talked about Marigot not getting it together. But the reason is a two-way relationship.
Well, something is wrong with your telephone. You might have to use another number. I'll call on maybe try 616 because your telephone is certainly giving me a problem. Call me back, Mr. Lloyd. Hello, talk to me. Try 767-616-4257. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes, Matt.
Yes, sir.
I think in the case where you have those two representatives in the same constituency, they should have like a by-election. Let the people vote for who they want instead of a group of people just dictating who they want based on whatever policies or biases they have.
Mm-hmm.
Let the community vote for who they want to represent them. And then this is a true democratic process. Nobody do dictating to either A or B or whoever they want, based on whatever bias list they have.
Okay, all right. Hello, talk to me. Under the suggestion, hello, talk to me. Yes.
Matt over there in St. Thomas, have a day off. And here who I'm hearing on the radio, a wonderful lady, Annie Edwards. Matt, I don't know her face. I cannot point out exactly who she is from my standpoint while I stand in St. Thomas. But Matt, we have used Annie Edwards' name for a while now, for years. She's used her expertise in Dominica. And Matt, this is the opportune time to have a wonderful person like that with experience, with good working habits, etiquette, Matt. It's our time to use Annie to get Dominica as to her skills and what she has been doing to get Dominica where it's supposed to be. Matt, I am confident that she will do a good job. Hearing from her for the past time, and Matt, we're going to go places, man. I don't care what people say. We know what we need to do in terms of governance in Dominica. We could talk about all the fights we want, but as Dominicans, we know what we need to do in terms of a good change in Dominica, a good, lovely, blessed change. But have a wonderful afternoon. Any blessings to you and any one of you who decide to go. God bless all you.
God bless you. God bless you too. Mike Wallace says Mrs. Edwards is a great candidate and I wish her well. 449-3095-9697. These are the numbers you could call. 449. The national executives would be crazy and go with Miss Edwards. She has publicly expressed her interest in representing Marigot on the UW ticket. She is brilliant. Let me read that again. Would be crazy not to go with Mrs. Edwards. She's publicly expressed her interest in representing Marigot on the UW ticket. She is a brilliant and the people love her. 449-3095-9697. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Caller.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Can you hear me better?
Better, much better, yes.
Yeah. Matt, I addressed something that you were talking earlier about Marigot and benefits from the government and being tainted. Why big part of Marigot not benefiting over the last 15, 20 years has not had a mention.
My friend, something is wrong with your telephone. I know you're trying to get through, but something is definitely wrong. Maybe try the overseas line because we're not getting through. I don't know are you calling from your cell phone or something? Yes, sir, you're not getting through. I'm really, really sorry. Okay, Mr. Lloyd, you're just being interrupted with some signal there. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. Let's see if I can read this text here. There are many, many text messages. I'm sorry if I can't go through all, I'll try my very best. Matt, tell Annie us you're a great model in this community of Marigot. And of course, the UWPs have selected some competent candidates who can represent them at a high level. They have an opportunity to demonstrate true democracy through the process. And once the people speak, they can join hands to the betterment of the community. So in other words, let the people speak. tell Annie Miss Fortune is listening, okay? is that your in your neighborhood?
No, but she's my good
Your
friend.
work pal. You were in the service together. All right, thank you. Somebody insists that you should answer why the UWP. Why did you decide to join the UWP as a candidate? Did you answer that question? They don't feel that you're given enough reason why UWP. Some people are insisting.
Well, why UWP? But I have been a member of UWP for a while now.
Okay.
Yeah, as I said, I've been voting UWP since 1990. You know, I vote in Marigot. I've never moved my name from the list in Marigot, and yeah, I feel very comfortable with the UWP. I would never think of any other party. I just think that, you know.
All right. They're the best for that.
Yes, and I also think Dr. Thompson is the best person for Marigot right now, for Dominica right now. I mean, just think, if you are sick, you go to a doctor. If the country is sick, it needs an economist, you know. I mean, nobody's perfect. I just think he needs a good team around him, and I see Dominica taking off under him. I have no problem working with Dr. Thompson.
All right.
And the other good thing, it's also important to understand how the economy works, you know. If you, like me, I worked at planning, and I understand budgeting, and I understand planning, and understand how you have to get your information. You have to argue to get your information in the budget for it to go through. So it's good to understand how the system works, the systems of government and governance and so on work. And if you have that foresight, that knowledge and foresight before you get in there, you can hit the ground running. For instance, I mean, policy. I understand the issues of policy. We need the government to have more policies in place to get the economy going. So a lot of times it's just if I get up and do things, but the policies what drives the country and the economy, and it makes people more accountable. So if there's a national policy, for instance, for tourism, I know there's a national tourism policy.
Or the environment, for example.
For the environment. Oh, that's a good one. If there's a national policy for the environment and it's well articulated, then everybody has that mindset. So, for instance, right now, we think of Dominica as a nature isle. There should be some strong policies in place to ensure that the nature isle image remains untouched. So, for instance, what's going on at Daybush should never happen if we had strong policies for the protection of our environment, and which successive governments would come in and, you know, abide by those policies and recognize them and so on. So, and then with the policies, then you have plans that have to be developed to support the policy. So, yeah. So it's good, yes. So I was saying it's really good if you have a knowledge of government, how governments work and governance before you go in, so you can hit the ground running even faster.
All right. Yeah. Somebody says she sounds like change. Give me a little dice at this time. Okay, I heard you.
The phenomenon comes with the rising sun. If you don't ride that way is right.
I'm just following the requests on my text messages, okay?
This fundamental principle is only the truth that always remains unchanged. If you lead by example, you can change the people. If not, people will change and stop following you. There's always another.
Not the whole country needs a reset. We need new leadership, new people all around. The country has been in decline and decay for too long, far too long. Congratulations to the lady moving forward. We need new life, new blood, and a new beginning. Huh? Madam, listening to the interview with Mrs. Annie Edwards, and in all respect, she would be an excellent representative for the people of Marigot. That's the level of representation we would need in Parliament. God's blessings and best wishes to Annie and her family. But this is where UWP implements a turnoff, a runoff. Here's an opportunity for the UWP to make changes to their party constituency, or constitution that will aid the entire country and democracy. In other words, let the people decide.
Who can stand in his way? What one seems impossible.
But I will even send the money for her to run independent if she is an independent candidate. We need a breath of fresh air in Marigot.
Losing hope, people from all sides begging for a better life. They come out of darkness, there comes a light, a consciousness where people could know unite.
Well, that's been all positives thus far, Annie.
Yes, I must say thank you to the supporters out there. You know, it's
you feel
a new territory for me, and you
feel encouraged.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
I just want to, somebody send a note, tell me to don't forget Concord. And I've not forgotten Concord, because Concord, what I plan to do is have a meeting in Concord, because Concord has a lot of issues, and I see Concord as a place which has a lot of potential. And Concord will have its own meeting soon,
right.
After this one. And one of the things I'm so very disheartened about is what's going on Debwash, because the river, Pegwa River, is the life of Concord, and now they have practically taken it away. I understand that. I don't know if it's true, but I understand that they have approved the quarry,
I've heard that myself.
Yeah. I mean, the government is really, I would say, I wouldn't say crazy, but I mean, how could they do that? The information against that quarry is so overwhelming. The main one I saw was the threats of the to the health of the people, with the arsenic and mercury getting into the water. And I don't understand that. They haven't even made a statement to the public about that. Remember, this thing, arsenic causes cancer. The other one affects your kidney, mercury affects kidneys and so on. And the other thing we have to remember is that the river runs into the sea. So all this is going to get into the coastal waters, and it's going to contaminate the fish. We eat the fish. So you don't know who will get affected by this in the future. And if they really did that, this is very, very unbelievable. And I mean, how could the board sit and approve something like that?
Right now, but you're not getting no justice.
Let's continue to take some phone calls. Are you here? Good afternoon to you. Yes. Yes.
Congrats, Annie. Marigot is behind you. Stand firm.
All right, Marigot, we're behind you. Stand firm. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, and let me say special good afternoon to your guests.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Matt, I must say, as an old stalwart of the party, I welcome Miss Edwards with open arms. And Matt, you know that I've said many times that I've actually announced my retirement. But if I have to put my boots back on, I will. And I hope that her entrance would inspire a lot of our powerful women out there to step in. Politics is not just a man's game. It's a game for anybody who has the competence and who feel that they can do it and they have the drive. I welcome her, and I can speak on behalf of the United Workers' Party. We welcome her in Marigot, and I believe it's a breath of fresh air in the community. So I'll be taking a run up there, hopefully on Saturday.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes. Are you there? Yes. And I just want to remind you that's a big meeting planned for Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday.
I might get a bigger crowd than I think.
Where is that meeting?
At the primary school.
At the primary school in Marion.
Yes, because I want it to be like a forum where people can sit, maybe in groups and discuss, and then, we come up with
some ideas from
ideas and suggestions.
Are you there, caller? Yes, sorry about that. 449-3095-96 and 97. Hello, talk to me, yes?
What's up, my brother? What's up?
How are you doing? How you doing? Yes.
Well, I there listening, cool and connected, and I want to tell Lennox Clinton, wherever he be, put back your boots on, Lennox. Let me hear your voice. Now is the time. You understand? Let us forget all the differences and let us support the lady. I mean, I don't know the lady, but I am listening to the lady, and she's not saying and like Imam. She's going with the flow. You understand? And you see, when you have people like that in a party, that is what you need. You need the priest, the bishop, you need everybody to keep your brain going, because the politics is going with the religion too, but the religion is going against the politics. So there's a problem. But I don't know you. But when I listen to you, you have vibes. I think you can do something better when I listen to you for Marigot. I'm not from Marigot, but Marigot have been suffering. You understand? 3 times I've been visited. You must try a fresh leg. You must try a fresh leg. Because if you have a football team or a basketball team, and you go overseas to 3 different places, and you get defeated 3 times, you're representing Dominica. So you have to change the players. Now the people know. Once the people are supporting the players, which is the team must win. So if Marigot rises, and that is what is going to happen. Mr. Skerritt, in closing, Mr. Skerritt, please let us have a family reunion meeting in the Windsor Park, in the gardens, wherever you decide to have it, where the people can ask you 1, 2 questions before the election. Let us go, Mr. Skerritt. Bye-bye. Wake him up.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Now, she's my former colleague in the government. I endorse her, and I'm confident based on my professional interaction with her in the past. Give her my name and message to build that confidence. Well, you have not submitted your name, but I'll give it to her as soon as you give it. I have been there, done that. Although my candidacy was a little late, just a few weeks to present myself, she's fortunate to present herself early. So your colleague is saying hi and hello. Send me your name. No, she's just sent me a text. I don't know. She's not presented her name just yet, but as soon as she does, I will let you know who she is. But she says you're a former professional colleague, and of course you have interacted with her professionally, and she is behind you fully. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, hello. Yes, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I give Annie Edwards my full support.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, hello. Talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, Annie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have one question for Annie. If you were to be offered the leadership of the party that you are part of, what would you accept it? I just want a yes or a no for me to make my decision.
I always, as I said, I'm a behind the scenes person, and I believe what the saying says: "Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown." So, as bad as it is, as a parliamentary representative, the head of a party is 1,000 times worse. I was the one that taller.
And you said you're willing to work with that leader.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm a person who work with people. I mean, at the planning department, that was one of my strengths, working with my staff, and and also with the public.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine I've left planning so long, and people still ask me if I'm still at the planning department. My strength is working with people.
All right, hello, talk to me. Yes, some people. Yes, caller. 449-3095-96 and 97. Dominica, we're here with Annie Edwards, a potential candidate. Of course, the selection process has not taken place, but she's put herself forward to represent the people of America. Somebody from out, I think, out of Dominica says, "Why did you wait till I'm out to do this? I can't be there for the meeting on Saturday. I love you. Thank you,
Live
thank
on
you."
Ronnie.
Yes, sir?
Ronnie Roy will bring it to life.
Ronnie Roy will bring it live.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure if sponsored, DNO might just bring it live, and of course, and MO. That's a big meet, a big meeting.
No, we're just using Ronnie. You know he's from Marigoton, you know.
All right. And he standing with the people, boy.
Yeah.
I'm just reading some Facebook messages. Marigot, people has the opportunity to prove to the world whether they are loyal to the party or a gang. I would go with the party. But ask Annie if any of the past executive members were invited to the meeting. This was a question to you.
I'm still sending out invitations. Yesterday I started to send out, you know, you got yours yesterday. So
yes.
I have some more to send out, yeah.
And everybody's invited?
Yes, everybody. From national to...
Okay, so
yeah,
everybody's invited to the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. But no voting will be taking place on Saturday.
No. Let me tell you, that's
people
not a political meeting on Saturday. It's strictly about Marigot, about the people of Marigot, and, you know, the revival of the spirit in Marigot. You got the feeling that things are down in there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So once people start to look to the future and, you know, think together as one, come up with ideas, people just start to the vibe I would say will just change. So it's all about Marigot people and having some kind of foresight and having some kind of, you know, getting back the energy they need and optimism and all those kind of things. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. We have been beaten down in many ways in Marigot. So
some people think it was a meeting to decide on a candidate. No.
No.
It's Annie's idea.
It's just my idea to start the I think I would say the wheel rolling.
The ball rolling.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Well, not start, you know, because I started to, but to crank it up and get it moving now.
All right.
Faster.
All right.
Yeah.
More telephone calls in the afternoon. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes,
Myself, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Myself, I just tuned in.
Yes.
And I want to applaud people like Annie, a solid woman, a strong woman, somebody whom opposition or anything will not deter. You know what she wants. Mama, I've been here programming, but I saw certain things out there. I saw her on a little thing on Facebook. And I believe she's a powerful woman, and the few people, women I know in public that have served this country, the comments they've made about her in meetings and representing the country, not bowing to politicians. If she take a position in her job and whatever, to maintain that position, Matt, I believe we need strong women like Annie, that a few bandits cannot deter. You know, it's not easy, you know, Matt. When you know you have an area where they have certain power and to come up and challenge, not that she's taking on anybody, but she decided to put herself out there to represent the people. I think Annie going to bring a serious forward movement to the United Workers' Party. I believe Annie is a person that will bring other people, bring labor rights on board. And he come in here not as a person with any controversy. And people like her will change things for the UWP. And I believe more Dominicans like Annie and the Shillingford lady should come forward.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more Dominicans should come forward to show that politics is not for one set. And one set of people cannot control the narrative, you know? And I don't think she's about control. I just think she's a professional woman. I think she's a brave woman, she's a strong woman. And people like that are scary to look for certain women that will just follow. But Annie will not follow, not Thompson, not anybody. And he will constructively support her leader. from all the reports I get in about her. I want to tell Annie, keep up the good work. And Margaret people certainly will show that they stand for Dominica. They stand for people that spirit cannot turn in their head. They stand for solid people, honest and integrity, because Roosevelt Skerrit is a guy. He'll feel straight anybody that's vulnerable. And we see what Roosevelt Skerrit have been doing. I suspect this is what Annie wants to stand against. I cannot speak for Annie. Give me someone as a professional woman. If you're walking the street just like a professional, every time you see her, I really want to welcome her into politics. I can't say welcome her into UWP. I cannot call myself as one of the players in UWP. But into the politics of this country, I welcome people like Annie with integrity, who will stand up and not bow to Roosevelt Skerrit on the streets. So Annie, once again, welcome. More love.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, 449-3095-96 and 97. Somebody says she should tell those who support her to stop referring to the section of the Marigot community as a gang. They are the ones who build the party, and that she wants no one to represent, okay? So kill the negativity. This is what
that's what I'm here for.
That's what, yeah.
Unity.
Unity.
No division.
Thank you. Well, the telephones have not stopped ringing, huh? Women power all the way. A lot of support for Annie Edwards. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes.
Good afternoon to you, Mark.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Mrs. Edwards, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mark, I do not know Mrs. Edwards, but I've listened to her for a while, right? But I called to support one of the callers, Mark. And let me say, first of all, I think that she's a brilliant person and she's a good person to represent her people. But I see one of the callers suggesting that they should have an election in Marigot. And I support that caller because right now I might get off track because I was counting the people who are calling from Marigot and those who are like me who are not from Marigot. So, Mark, I believe that's a strong suggestion that if they would have an election among themselves in Marigot for the people to speak loudly who they want to represent them. So, therefore, there will be no friction after that. Ms. Ernie, I hope you would agree with me. And if that happens, that would be the best thing to do for Marigot.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Now, Mrs. Annie Edwards is the preferred candidate, somebody is saying, for the Marigot constituency. Give her the chance. She will make things happen. She is already making things happen. Support Annie, vote wisely. This is one caller that I think is my friend Alex in Switzerland. Good afternoon to you. 449-3095-96 and 97. Dominica, is it time for change to say? Is it time for change? Let's listen to Dicey again.
By example, you can change the people. If not, people will change and stop following you. There's always another aspiring leader.
We need more women like Annie and Dominica to step forward. Women are the bedrock of any political movement.
Can the unemployed your people from the corner? When government counterproductive of what your citizens are trying to achieve. When one is in and the other judges spreading up a living. Whoa, it's nothing strange. It's time for...
We'll be right back, Dominica. We'll be right back.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. On cap a 591 ml Coke Original Taste or Coke Zero Sugar with the football label. Find the unit code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup games. Or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win!
This is our 15th Global View on Q show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica. I'm Sheridan Gregoire, Mr. G. With me is my co-host, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill. This is part 2 in the series on how have the Kalinago people of Dominica fared since the event of the last Carib War in 1930 to date. Here are some talking points or questions, if you like. As the Carib Act of 1978 helped to institutionalize the Kalinago Chief and Kalinago Council since Dominica attained political independence in 1978, is it still relevant after 48 years? What provisions of this Carib Act of 1978 need to be revised now in order to align with the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples 20 years after this declaration, particularly in view of the alleged mining and environmental degradation now affecting their communities? Kalinago people of Dominica were not included in the negotiations for political independence. Was that an unforced error? Is there now a greater embrace of the Kalinago people and their cultural attributes by the wider Dominica population? Should the 2007 UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples have been more fully implemented by Dominica's government so as to deliver greater positive impacts on the lives of the Kalinago people of Dominica? The Kalinago Council is a tribal government. What should be the central government's approach to working with this local government authority that is different from a village council? What is the core legal principle that comes from the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples? And what does that core principle of free, high, and informed consent mean for the Kalinago people post-2007 when the declaration was passed? So going forward, what should the Kalinago people do to advance their development aspirations after 48 years of the Kalinago Act of 1978? What has been the impact, outcomes, and deliverables of the first female Kalinago chief and her new dynamic council for the Kalinago community since taking office? I will ask the panelists to suggest what they envisage as important development aspirations for the Kalinago people from now through to 2030, when I imagine the Kalinago people will be commemorating 100 years since the presence of a British warship in the Salivia in 1930, an event I believe to be known by the Kalinago people as the last Carib War. Here's a thought. What about expanding the Kalinago territory by about 3,000 acres and creating a modern traditional architectural design and build community of integrated residences, say 5 to 10,000 residents, with agriculture, manufacturing, agribusiness, tech, knowledge industries, and tourism, etc., all get to generate foreign earnings. Visitors could conceivably pay a small fee to tour this traditional old charm community, which would be under the ownership, direction, control, and management of the Kalinago Council and the Kalinago Chief. Just a thought. We look forward to the contributions of Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill on how the Kalinago people of Dominica have fared since the last Carib War in 1930 to date. So tune in Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for more on the Global View on Q, only on Q95, the big station.
It's crying, so many feel around. When we did there's something wrong there, and the children can play. I want to see.
Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Blue Box. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Blue Box Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feed. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Blue Box in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Blue Box Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
All right, Dominica, we're back. It's already 2:34 in the afternoon. Time moving so quickly. Let's take a few voice notes. And yes, they're coming in there very fast. Let's do this.
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Annie. Annie, I'm so excited just hearing you in studio, hearing that interview. I'm just excited like all the other people on social media everywhere. People are messaging. People are just, they're tipping their hats off to you. This is what we need. We need positive energy. We need an inspiring voice, something to bridge all of the high level testosterones. My God, Annie, you were the best thing today. You bring a certain amount of joy. You bring a certain amount of passion. And that is what we need. Matt, I don't just only support Annie because she has a blueprint printed in Marigot, This woman is a woman who was not in government, and she could do so much for Marigot as a private citizen. So just think if she's given the opportunity to represent Marigot on a government level, whether she's in office or not, she knows how to source funds, Matt, to help develop her community. Those are the kind of people we want, people who believe in community service, people who have given back to the communities. You don't have to push her for her to give. Marigot has benefited. That is what you call community service, civic-minded people. And people like Annie generally do well in politics. Matt, you will realize that Annie Edwards is the only voice I have heard from Marigot on the Debwash issue and a serious issue like that, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
This is the woman who spoke for the Concord community and how the Concord community is affected, Matt. She spoke about that mining in Debwash. She stood so many times in Debwash. Where are all the others, the government elected persons? Where is Delbert Paris, Senator Delbert Paris on the Debwash issue? Where is Senator Reid on the Debwash issue? At least I heard Tony, the parliamentary representative, who said that he supports the mining of Debwash, as well as the poisoning. Technically, he said he supports the poisoning of the Concord people. But I have not heard the others on such an issue affecting the Concord people. So if you ask me, who is looking out for the interest of the Concord people, I would say it's Annie Edwards. And if I were in Dominica and a voter, and voting in the Marigot constituency, I would have voted for Annie Edwards, because someone who is looking out for my interest and seeing that my water remains healthy, then this is who I would vote for, because water is life. And Annie, thank you so much as a woman putting yourself forward. We need more women to come forward to represent our communities politically. Because right now, I believe that the men have all let us down. So it's now for a time, now is the time, the right time for women to step up, to represent their constituencies, represent their communities. It's time for women to take over the governance of Dominica. And I'm looking forward to that day when we will have a full government of only women. Women who means well for the country, the citizens, women who will shape policies for women and children, and a better way of life to take Dominicans back to being first-class citizens and not being dependents. Matt, we are resilient people, you know, and I think the Dominican women are the most resilient group of individuals in Dominica. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me ask you a question, my friend Maslin. So what is wrong with our men? You sound a little sexist there, huh? Thank you very much. Are you suggesting our men don't have balls, huh? All right, Dominica, we have a few more calls. We're going to do this and come back. The phones keep ringing. Stick around.
We are in the hurricane season. Stay informed by tuning in to Q95 FM radio for updates on the storm's path and any evacuation orders. Knowledge is power during a hurricane.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. On cap, a 591 ml Coke original taste or Coke zero sugar with the football label. Find the unit code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup game or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win!
This is our 15th Global View on Q show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica. I'm Sheridan Gregoire, Mr. G. With me is my co-host, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill. This is part 2 in the series on how have the Kalinago people of Dominica fared since the event of the last Carib War in 1930 to date. Here are some talking points or questions if you like. As the Carib Act of 1978 helped to institutionalize the Kalinago Chief and Kalinago Council since Dominica attained political independence in 1978, is it still relevant after 48 years? What provisions of this Carib Act of 1978 need to be revised now in order to align with the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples 20 years after this declaration, particularly in view of the alleged mining and environmental degradation now affecting their communities? Kalinago people of Dominica were not included in the negotiations for political independence. Was that an unforced error? Is there now a greater embrace of the Kalinago people and their cultural attributes by the wider Dominica population? Should the 2007 UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples have been more fully implemented by Dominica's government so as to deliver greater positive impacts on the lives of the Kalinago people of Dominica? The Kalinago Council is a tribal government. What should be the central government's approach to working with this local government authority that is different from a village council? What is the core legal principle that comes from the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples? And what does that core principle of free, high, and informed consent mean for the Kalinago people post-2007 when the declaration was passed? So going forward, what should the Kalinago people do to advance their development aspirations after 48 years of the Kalinago Act of 1978? What has been the impact, outcomes, and deliverables of the first female Kalinago chief and the new dynamic council for the Kalinago community since taking office? I will ask the panelists to suggest what they envisage as important development aspirations for the Kalinago people from now through to 2030, when I imagine the Kalinago people will be commemorating 100 years since the presence of a British warship in the Salibay in 1930, an event I believe to be known by the Kalinago people as the last Carib War. Here's a thought. What about expanding the Kalinago territory by about 3,000 acres and creating a modern traditional architectural design and build community integrated residences, say 5,000 to 10,000 and residents with agriculture, manufacturing, agribusiness, tech, knowledge industries, and tourism, etc. All get to generate foreign earnings. Visitors could conceivably pay a small fee to tour this traditional old charm community, which will be under the ownership, direction, control, and management of the Kalinago Council and the Kalinago Chief. Just a thought. We look forward to the contributions of Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica Young Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill on how the Kalinago people of Dominica have fared since the last Carib War in 1932 date. So tune in Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for more on the Global View on Q, only on Q95, the big station.
And the children I want to see home improvement, millions of lights for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too, lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies.
Visit Do It Center at the former Jane Asset Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890.
And the orange for your people from the corner. When government counterproductive of what your citizens are trying to achieve. When one is in and the other judges spreading up a living. Whoa, it's nothing strange. It's like
On the telephone. Hello, talk to me. Yes, are you there?
Yeah, Matt. Hello, Matt.
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
Great woman, Matt. She's a God-fearing woman, just like her mother. So she will also help us in the way she should. She's a very nice girl, and she's a God-fearing woman. May God continue to bless her, and she'll continue the work she has begun. Thank you.
Thank you.
when change declares its day. Who can stand in his way? What once seems impossible, no becomes when school leavers can't find work and citizens are losing hope. People from all sides begging for a better life.
I asked the question, what is wrong with the men? Nobody's answering me and saying, good afternoon to you, man. The men are hiding under their mother's skirts. Okay.
Many can feel it. So they are
Men getting all the blows, boy.
from this silent from that. I'm the shade. So no one is like to understand me.
Matt, we need candidates with national impact like Annie Edwards and Juliet, the one coming to Salisbury too. One good candidate encourage the others.
Agriculture. Whoa. It's not being trained. It's like bullshit. Mama, whoa. Whoa. Mama, yeah.
Somebody suggesting here, Matt, if there's a runoff in the Marigot constituency, there should be a runoff in every and all constituencies. I guess basically say, well, if there are other constituencies that two people are, putting the names forward, maybe the same should apply.
When leaders can no longer hear the people.
Good afternoon to you, Matt. I'm from St. Joe, sitting and listening to the brilliant-minded lady, and I'm speechless. We need at least 5 like her, and that's a big thing for the UWP. Light is in the tunnel, the light has come, huh? It's the lady from St. Joe spreading that message here.
And the citizens of confidence in the body. When we be parents and victims of crime crying out, but they are not getting no justice. When corruption grows from the very top, and the masses feel that they are had enough. Whoa, it shall be changed. This type of change. Mama, oh.
Play the dice, huh? That's what I've been doing, sir. On the telephone, are you there? Oh, sorry. You got to call back. All right, Annie, you like the vibes thus far?
Yes, I want to say thank you to all the callers, people who sent in messages and so forth.
Mhm.
It's definitely boosting my
Confidence?
confidence and tell me that I am making the right decision. So
Making the right-
thanks to everybody out there.
Let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller? Yes? Yes? Caller.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Yes, talk to me.
Yeah, quick question. Margaret is one of the only guaranteed constituencies that the party has. Instead of working with who the Constituency Association has accepted as their representative, why do you think it's necessary to have the entire country focus on Margaret as a negative right now? That's the question I want to ask.
As a negative?
But where's
Yeah, because
What's the negative? What is the negative? Just point out the negative for me, please.
yeah, but the whole country, the whole country is talking about Margaret.
But the whole country is talking about democracy as well. I mean, she has put her name in forward, and she has said, if the national executive decide that Delbert will be the candidate, she'll give Delbert the full support. So why are you saying the whole country is against Marigot? I don't get you.
Can you make your guess? I didn't ask you a question.
I'm asking you because you want to answer the question, Annie.
I don't understand what he's saying.
You don't understand?
Where's the negative?
Again, I'm asking you again, where's the negative? You're saying the same thing. Where's the negative?
Mark, it's a negative because I'm hearing all kind of different things because I'm hearing the association has elected Delbert as their representative. And I'm hearing the party say, no, they want another person. I want to know why
the party
association recommends.
And the what's that?
The Constituency Association recommends, is the National Association that makes the decision. That's what the Constitution says. I have a copy of the article. Go on the article, Article 8 of the Constitution of UWP, and you'll see.
So the the National Association recommends. So it doesn't have to be the final decision there.
Okay, let me find out, and then hold on.
But she just quoted it for you in the Constitution.
On the Article 8.
She just of course told you the reference on the Article 8 in the Constitution of the UWP. Okay?
On the Article 8, you said?
Yes, Article 8.
Yeah.
All right. So call back. All right? I don't see. Do I see the negative here? I don't know. 4493095. It's a democracy. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yeah. 44930959697. Let's take a phone call. Yes. Are you there? Hello. Yes.
Yes, Matt. I'd like to say that as someone who had been on the nominations committee for many years in the UWP, the nominations committee, the group, the Constituency Association, they will make recommendations to the executive and the nominations committee, and they will take it forward. But from the constituency branch, they don't say, well, this is who I want to be leader. All they can do is they will make representation. They will nominate somebody, but then the wider body will take a look at it and they will come up with their own assessment. That's how it works, Matt.
All right, caller. Thank you. You said you were a former member of the executive. Hello, talk to me. You know better. Hi. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Good afternoon to you, Matt.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Edward in public.
Caller?
This is a position and you go forward. And nobody's position. You're your own position. But let nobody try to tell you anything nonsensical. Go forward. And all the other constituencies should have new blood, new people talking newness and want to bring Dominic out. That's fussing and fighting there, and that's retired as nonsense. Congratulations on going forward. His position. And have a blessed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. Dominica, it's 2:53 and we have a limited time. The calls are still coming in, and 449-3095. Yes, somebody just keeps requesting that song. Well, see what the national executive decides. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, according to you, nominations can be made. The decision rests on the national executive.
Change is a phenomenon. Comes with the rising sun.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
But
yes, sir.
People don't just, I don't know, they say good to ask questions, but I try to research first or ask it quietly. You see the same voice, they look like it's the same man that attacked the man of Joshua Francis. And tell him not to stay out of that. And Matt, if it's not so, yeah, okay, bye-bye. If it's not so, we want to have a clear vibes. We don't want nobody to come and handpick and heist nobody and put nobody in nowhere sit down. And not because Annie is who she is to me. She don't must even know me. She must hear mother talk about me. And I will support her just like how I never know Lennox never know me. But I show all my support because Matt, it's Satan alone I don't want to help me with train out care because I will take chance with Satan. And tell all around to put in them out in this thing here. And he more positive, she's more positive, and you know about brand new. To me, I never know Annie in any politics yet, so that does bring in a kind of vibe. It does brand new, and that's whole strong Annie. That's beautiful.
Well, are you there, caller? Yes, are you there?
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon. I want to say congratulations to Annie Edwards. Welcome in. But I have a question, though. So under what process, what was the process that Leonard Linton was elected or selected for the leader or to represent Marigot? Is it not the same process now? So why does it have to change? Or maybe he was selected wrongly. Maybe he sabotaged it and he just put himself in the ring and did not go through the proper process. So now the proper process is taking place. They got a problem with it. So I would like to know, how was Lennox Linton selected to represent Marigot for the last two elections? That's my question.
All right. Hello, talk to me. Do you know the process that took place?
I don't know. I just know. Well, I remember Mr. James telling us that, recommending him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, talk to me. Yes. Are you there, caller?
Hey, Matt. Good afternoon to you and your guest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a breath of fresh air, fresh blood. New blood. And I was the same guy you met with Zay Manuel at Fresh Market, remember?
Yes.
Okay. What I would advise Lennox Linton, he's a guy I love very much. I have pictures with him all over the place. He and Elsie James, just be good advisors to UWP and change will on its way. Thank you.
Mr. Julius Covert says she songs honest, genuine, and humble. She's a good fit for the UWP.
And the other judges repping no believing. Whoa, it's nothing.
Hello, yes?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, good afternoon.
One of the questions I want to ask you, Mrs. Edwards.
Okay.
Let's say you're going up and Delbert is going up for Marigot. Let's say Delbert win, are you going to give Delbert your support, or will you be giving Delbert your support? Thank you.
I think she's answered the question
Yes,
before.
I said, I wouldn't go independent or anything. I'll just,
For your support behind him.
Yes. I'm not going to run under any other
Yeah.
label, whether it's independent or not.
I think she said that before, yeah?
I think it's party.
Losing hope. People from all sides begging for a better life.
But it says, once Annie is the representative, I am transferring my vote to Marigot. Annie all the way, huh?
From this side, from that home, I'm the king, heading away. So no one is
I like the lady. Give her a chance. Let me just say openly, I've actually invited Delbert to have an interview because I'm doing with Annie, and I haven't gotten a response from him, but I would welcome Delbert for an interview like Annie. I put up of course, I requested an interview. Let's see how he responds, huh? But I did invite Mr. Delbert. And Annie was only told about this interview this morning, right?
Yes.
And you responded.
I sent her, what I did was send her an invitation for you to promote my event. And then,
the invitation came?
Yes.
Yeah.
And next thing you asked me to come here today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He actually invited me to the Marigot meeting on Saturday, and I took the opportunity to invite her for this interview today. See, hello, talk to me, and I actually asked Mr. Delbert if he is willing to do an interview with me. I hope that will come very soon. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, are you? Yeah.
Yes, man. Good afternoon. Good afternoon
yes.
to you and Miss Annie Edwards.
Yes,
Miss Edwards, I'm not
Yes.
gonna go into the spiel. You don't know me. I don't know you. I know of your work. You've been on the radio many times fighting for the country, and so I've been Mr. Delbert, Mr. Linton, and the former was Mr. Edison James. And I think you can be as good as a candidate as anybody else. And listening to you, I want to say thank you this afternoon for coming to the radio to kill some of the negative stories that I've been hearing. Okay? I'm not one of them people who like to jump on bandwagon. You said something this afternoon, and a lot of our people miss it because some of them calling and carrying the same dirty water that some people want to carry. Let me say something to you, Miss Edwards. What you said. You approached Mr. Linton and Mr. James and told them that you were running. You asked for their blessing. You asked for you spoke to them, not asked, but you spoke to them and tell them you're gonna get in the race and whatnot. They told you they are there ready to pick someone.
Yes, select.
And based on the rules, they have the right to do that. But you said to the public, well, I just want you all to know that I'm being raised, and I think that was quite cordial and professional. But we tend to read things in stories when we hear them, and with the story goes. You see, it starts like a little mound, and then next year is a mountain. Now, for you, Miss Edwards, I don't see why you cannot be a candidate because you just stated your resume early on. You have been in planning. You have been, and people asking you if you did just made a quick decision. You have been in the business of taking care of Dominic and fighting for Dominic, and so you have always been there. You have been in the UWP from in the 90s. I heard you say, so I'm listening, you know. And I'm sure the people who are listening to you heard the same thing, but they just, some of them conclude what they want to hear. We must cut this kind of nonsense out, people. Miss Edwards, I just appreciate your professionalism. Max, I want to thank you again, like I've always done. We need to stop the kind of nonsense. Matt, I'm glad you brought us here to kill this poison, because we have a mindset that is only what we think or what we want should be. It don't always work so. I think that lady will be a giant to stand for Dominica. I think, and she just told you about the day one business man. And I called you last week to tell you about the Kozia Pedrick news I heard. He's going along to poison his people to have a airport bill. Like we can't get stuff otherwise. And Miss Annie Edwards is fighting for Kalinago. She's fighting for African people. She's fighting for the country to save the country. So why can't she fight in the parliament the same way she's fighting on the street? Like she fought before in planning. We need to stop the nonsense, Matt. And I hope in the future that people will understand what Mr. Linton and Mr. James do, or whoever picked Mr. Parrish did not do it out of malice towards her, because she told us they had a powwow. They spoke. She went. She tell them what she's planning. So it's in the open. It's not a backlash. It's not something with this and that and not. I just can't take this thing. We need to be more professional. We're really mediocre when it comes to politics, and we don't understand issues. We let emotion override our thinking, and we run with that. You know, just like a gentleman called you, Marigot is in the thing is negative. It's not negative. She's there to clear the air. She's there to make her candidacy known. And if she wins and she goes forward, she should get the support of the people because she's supporting the UWP. And I think all of us who would like to see a change in Dominica, give her a chance. Let her be there. All of us would like to see a change in Dominica. Give Thompson a chance. I like Mr. Linton. I love Mr. Linton. Mr. Linton is a great benefit to the UWP. If and when the UWP win and they want to give him a position, I think he should take it because he's fighting for country. He's been in the work. The man been in the trenches for years. Him, Thompson, everybody been taking blows, being dragged to the court. All the expenses, all the nonsense, and the people don't understand the issue that they are dealing with, fighting amongst themselves to pick this one over that one and this and that and this and making it personal. It's not about emotional. It's about country. It's about issues. It's about what is best for the people, the future of the country. Like she told you, you have hardly hear people speak about a 20-year plan. Most major cities, most good governments have a long-term plan for the people and country. But we're not thinking about this thing. When someone speaks to you and tell you this thing, you must understand that mindset of that person. That person is not running for self, not just like a mediocre business that you see running around that Roosevelt Kerry just throwing the people around the country. They want people with a good mindset.
I'll tell you what, because of time, we've got to shut you down for now. Thank you always for your contribution. We're going to take our final 20 seconds and we're going to allow Miss Annie Edwards to wrap up in the afternoon.
Blessings, how are you?
Blessings to you.
I trust that you are okay.
Yes,
I'm listening to your program, but I don't know how to connect. I would like to get the number of Miss Annie Edwards so I can contact her. I'm Glenda John Baptist.
Right.
I reside in Marigot. I am from Port Azil. Anyway, take care.
All right.
Have a blessed afternoon.
I'll allow her to give you the number there. She'll type it in your phone, okay? So yes, okay. Right. So she'll share with you. But let's share and have a final comment because time is of the essence.
Begging for a better life. Then out of darkness there comes a light. A consciousness.
And I'm sure she'll share her number with you on Marigot on Saturday after. From what time again, Annie? What time?
From 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
Yes.
5 to 7, 5 to 8? It depends what goes on there. But again, thank you for coming. Any final comments before you go?
Oh, so I just want to once again thank the people of the persons who called in. I also want to thank the people of Marigot and Concord. I've already started to make moves in Concord.
Okay.
Who have already started to work with me and who I think will continue to work and support me. So you'll be seeing me on the ground a lot. I am encouraging people to re-register and so forth. So I've been taking up forms to them, people who need to get their birth certificate. I've printed a set of forms to take to them so they can easily fill them up and get them done.
So your work has started?
Yes, my work has started, and I mean...
I can tell the excitement. You're excited to represent your people, huh?
It's nice, yeah. And I just want people to remember that the goal is really to remove, this Labour Party that has been on our back for 26 years. That's it. We should not be fighting within ourselves. We should just focus on the goal and move forward. And everybody should come on board, all supporters and also people in the Labour Party who are fed up with what's going on. Yeah, so Matt, I just wanted to thank you I was skeptical about coming, but I'm happy I came because
I hope your colleague will come soon.
I hope so too.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Delbert Paris, the invitation is out to you as well, huh? Thank you, Dominica. We've got to go now.
It's a war that is never waged. Suffering people always looking to that great liberation.
I'll be back if the Lord is willing tomorrow at the same time. Hot Sit tomorrow. Thank you.
This is our 15th Global View on Q show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica. I'm Sheridan Gregoire, Mr. G. With me is my co-host, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill. This is part 2 in the series on how have the Kalinago people of Dominica fared since the event of the last Carib War in 1930 to date. Here are some talking points or questions, if you like. As the Carib Act of 1978 helped to institutionalize the Kalinago Chief and Kalinago Council since Dominica attained political independence in 1978, is it still relevant after 48 years? What provisions of this Carib Act of 1978 need to be revised now in order to align with the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples 20 years after this declaration, particularly in view of the alleged mining and environmental degradation now affecting their communities? Kalinago people of Dominica were not included in the negotiations for political independence. Was that an unforced error? Is there now a greater embrace of the Kalinago people and their cultural attributes by the wider Dominica population? Should the 2007 UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples have been more fully implemented by Dominica's government so as to deliver greater positive impacts on the lives of the Kalinago people of Dominica? The Kalinago Council is a tribal government. What should be the central government's approach to working with this local government authority that is different from a village council? What is the core legal principle that comes from the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples? And what does that core principle of free, high, and informed consent mean for the Kalinago people post-2007 when the declaration was passed? So going forward, what should the Kalinago people do to advance their development aspirations after 48 years of the Kalinago Act of 1978? What has been the impact, outcomes, and deliverables of the first female Kalinago chief and the new dynamic council for the Kalinago community since taking office? I will ask the panelists to suggest what they envisage as important development aspirations for the Kalinago people from now through to 2030, when I imagine the Kalinago people will be commemorating 100 years since the presence of a British warship in the Salive in 1930, an event I believe to be known by the Kalinago people as the last Carib War. Here's a thought. What about expanding the Kalinago territory by about 3,000 acres and creating a modern traditional architectural design and build community of integrated residences, say 5 to 10,000 residents, with agriculture, manufacturing, agribusiness, tech, knowledge industries, and tourism, etc., all get to generate foreign earnings. Visitors could conceivably pay a small fee to tour this traditional old charm community, which would be under the ownership, direction, control, and management of the Kalinago Council and the Kalinago Chief. Just a thought. We look forward to the contributions of Justice Dr. Irving Andre, former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire, Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford, Mr. Kimani John, Attorney Joel Paris, and Mr. Patrick Hill on how the Kalinago people of Dominica have fared since the last Carib War in 1930 to date. So tune in Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for more on the Global View on Q, only on Q95, the big station.
If you're loyal, then you're loyal. We all at the ground, yeah. We all in the ground, yeah. We all at the story. It's about a Tuesday morning. Everybody coming in. We ready to run. We gon' make them jump. We gon' make them turn up. We gon' make them ride. We gon' make them free up. This is the bacchanal. In this people got the car. This carnival. I want to go nowhere. Everybody on. If you coming down from the rock, when we with this thing come, give it up on. It's the bad ride. It's the bad ride. You could see it on the rock. Ready for life. When the people tell you they cannot wait for God. It's the bad ride. It's the bad ride. We are with love, yeah. We think of our love, yeah. We think it in love, yeah. Today nothing enough, no. Happy feeling, everybody reveling. They're ready to buy. We gon' make them jump, we gon' make them turn, we gon' make them wine, we gon' make them free up. It's the place of the canal. We never so magical, this carnival. Everybody on there. If you coming down from the rock, when we with this thing come, give it up and it's a bad, it's a bad. You could see it on the top. When the people tell you we can't